Greetings, Benjamin J. from Ben's Trains with another in the series. Well, a follow-up on that Marx 898 that arrived today, $4.99. Now, I found out what the problem was with that noisy gear. It actually was not the intermediate gear. It was actually the rear wheel gear had been damaged, and that's why it was so noisy. So I swapped the entire axle and put two new rear wheels on this. Changed the push rods to black, but it's up and running and solved the problem, which was fortunate because I have lots of rear wheels. I do not have another intermediate gear. Anyway, so I've been running it, and as you notice, the holes in the locomotive are gone where the markers were. And what I've done temporarily is you just take a piece of masking tape, literally, cut it so it fits nicely in that space, stick it to the locomotive, and then, of course, spray it with black paint. That hole for the marker literally disappears, as you can tell. Anyway, so this locomotive is running just absolutely splendidly. So I swapped out that rear axle, and as you see, it is running absolutely perfectly. No problems at all. It runs smoothly. It's really quiet. Lots of power. That's running at about 30% power right now. So it was definitely worth the $4.99. And of course, I did have to replace that rear wheel. But even so, it was still worth $4.99. So I can touch this up now that it's running well, and this will actually be a nice locomotive. It's not original, it's not perfect, far from it. But it was also $4.99, so you just cannot beat that. If I used it for parts, it was worth more than that. So anyway, I just want to do a quick follow-up on this 898. Again, I've got to stress, don't overlook the junk. $4.99 in about 20 minutes of my time. It took longer to diagnose the problem than to find or to actually fix the problem. And like I said, there was damage on one of the gear on the rear wheel, and that's why it was so noisy. So I just pulled that wheel off and replaced it with another one. And since I had to have matching push rods, I just swapped out the wheels on both sides. And this was the result, a really nice 898 for $5. You can't beat it. So what am I going to do with it? I have no idea. I bought it basically just for the motor or for the parts if I couldn't get it running. But it's actually running so well that a little bit of touch-up, and this would actually be a nice locomotive. It's too nice to cannibalize for parts, that's for sure. Anyway, I just want to do a follow-up video on this. Marx 898, $4.99. I was the only bidder. And you just couldn't ask for this to run any better. It runs absolutely perfectly. And I swapped out that rear wheel. It's nice and quiet. It runs really smoothly, as you can tell. That's 40% power there. And that's just zipping around this rail. So just a quick follow-up. Again, I gotta say it, don't overlook the junk. You can do this on an absolute shoestring budget if you know how to fix these locomotives and if you have a small supply of parts. Buy one motor that doesn't run just to use it for parts, and you can fix 10 more. Anyway, I just want to do a quick video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.